Thank you, Manuela. Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, so you heard about the Galen platform from the previous two speakers. So I'll try to kind of summarize some of the findings, early findings from the early investigator program at MD Anderson, and also kind of brief you about how this is useful for pathologists. So I titled my talk as a computational image analysis based decision support tool for interpretation of HER2 immunostain. So these are my disclosures. So just as an introduction, we all know that the ASCO CAP got updated in 2023, mainly in view of the results of the DESTINY-04 and the need for pathologists to identify HER2 low. And we all know all the issues, problems, challenges, and the discussions revolving around the identification of HER2 low. So the ASCO CAP clearly said in their updated version in 2023 that you go under 40X and try to look at your slides for the distinction, for optimal distinction of 0 and 1 plus, and if possible, take a consensus review from your colleagues. And the other thing stays the same, right? The need for maintaining proper pre-analytic factors and your analytics, all that stays the same. But just to kind of help us in the identification of HER2 low, that is what they said. But having said that, as pathologists, we all know that a large part of the interpretation is subjective. So inter-observer variability is kind of a part of our daily routine work that we do. So between two pathologists, there is bound to be subjectivity. So even you take experts for something such as HER2 interpretation, the same pathologist who may be an expert may not agree with themselves. So all these are issues in the field. So what can be done in today's era? You see in this meeting, there's a lot of AI around, right, for pathology. It is coming into our field and it's already there in our field. So what can computational image analysis do for HER2 IHC assessment? So obviously, it can aid in consistent scoring and it can help us overcome the subjectivity in the interpretation of HER2 IHC for optimal interpretation of HER2 protein expression, particularly at the lower end of the spectrum. Now, I think in United States, most of us, we don't worry about borderline between 1 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus. We just, start doing FISH. But at the lower end between 0 and 1 plus that we never paid so much attention, here are the tools available for us in today's world to create some kind of, to help us in creating an objectivity to our interpretation. So AI models can serve as ancillary aids to pathologists for evaluating HER2 IHC, and several AI models are available or in development. But none of the AI tools are approved for standard of care yet, and we hope that with the very good performance of things like the Galen HER2 platform, these will be available very soon for standard of care pathologists. So let's see, what is this Galen platform? You heard from the previous two speakers, so I don't have to go into this, but just I want to make sure that we are clear that here is a fully automated solution for interpreting HER2 IHC. There are many other kind of solutions available for bringing objectivity to HER2 that you can attach to your microscope and so on. But this platform is completely automated in that it recognizes the invasive tumor and starts annotating the HER2 immunostaining pattern in the invasive tumor and comes up with a score. But it is left to the pathologist to see whether they agree with it or whether they want to change it. But it certainly highlights the staining pattern, and you are amazed how quickly it does that and how accurate it is majority of the times. So I want to start with couple of examples and then tell you about the trial and so on. So I don't know how much it projects. I chose this case to show a punch biopsy of skin, and you can already see some annotated areas. This is the HER2 IHC of this punch biopsy. The beauty is that just when you bring it to the screen, it has already shown you the invasive areas, and it is pretty accurate in pointing the invasive areas and kind of putting a mark around it. And then when you go into one of those areas, this is a HER2 IHC stain, and you're debating, what am I going to call this, 0 or 1 plus? And you know, many times when it is at the borderline, it's a judgment call that changes, you know, either end of the spectrum. We all know in our daily practice that happens. So that is where I think if you apply the Galen platform in this, as I said, it has nicely annotated your invasive tumor area. And on the side, you see how it clearly tells you the annotation. So if a cell is 0, it is these blue kind of rounds. If it is faint, incomplete membrane staining, that is either faint or barely perceptible, it is a green circle. And if it is moderate, like, you know, of low intensity, it is yellow. So on the side, it tells you clearly what is what. And at the end, on the top, it scores all that and gives you a proper score. Like, say, for instance, in this case, you know, when you looked at just the HER2 IHC, many things you think, oh, yeah, this is perhaps 1 plus. But when you put the Galen, it clearly tells you that the faint scoring is only in 7.97% of cells. And that really is very useful for us to finally say, okay, I agree that this is 0 and not 1 plus. This is another image that I wanted to show you. If you look at the plain HER2 IHC, you see the very few, like, see, let me put the cursor. See, these are the cells with very incomplete staining, just few here and perhaps something here. And see how exactly it matches. This is at a higher mag, the Galen platform, the same incomplete membranous staining. You see beautifully with these green rounds exactly in that area. And the one very little here is shown as 1 dot here. So clearly this is a score 0 case. But I want to show this to show how accurate it is in pointing out to these incomplete membranous staining area that you can match beautifully. And when you are using this platform, you can go in and out of the annotations. That means you want to match and see. So you just do the press space bar, then you just get your the HER2 immunostain, and you just remove the space bar. It shows you the green and blue dots, making it very easy for you to kind of reconcile with the real staining pattern. Okay, another thing that I find useful that pathologists need to know, I feel, is, you know, the difference between surgical excision interpretation and core biopsy, particularly at the lower end of the spectrum. When you have a big surgical excision stained with HER2, doing under 40x and seeing carefully everywhere takes time. It is labor intensive, and even after looking at everything, you're not very sure, you know, because by the time you've screened the whole thing, you think, oh, is it 10% or more? You kind of get a little confused. I feel here it really is useful for excisions. So here is this case. So if you start looking just at the immunostain, it looks like there are many 1 pluses in this. And it's a large area, right? It's a big surgical excision. And here is the Galen applied in this, and it clearly kind of highlights the real 1 plus in this large area of the entire excision. Finally, this case came out as 0 and not 1 plus, although, like many pathologists, when you look at the whole thing, it can go either way, but many would have called it 1 plus. So with that example, I want to kind of tell you a little bit about the early evidence program, which in my view is very, very important, because an initial study was done with 120 cases alone, including 5 expert breast pathologists as ground truthers and 4 general pathologists as readers. So to take the evidence even further, I think this study was designed with 15 centers, each centers providing at least 100 to 200 cases, having a real-world distribution of HER2, like 15 to 20% positive, 80 to 85% negative. So the design of the study is that having 2 reader pathologists in each center and in 2 arms, a manual scoring arm with no AI and an arm B where you have like the Galen as an additional decision support tool for the pathologist. And the ground truthers includes 2 expert breast pathologists with a 3rd pathologist being an arbitrator when there is discordance between the 2 expert pathologists. So in MD Anderson, I wanted to kind of show the value of excisions versus core, also the time taken, digital versus manual, because in my mind, I think, there is a difference between reading slides manually versus digitally. That itself is important because now many labs, many practices are considering transitioning to full digital. Some have become full digital. My practice is, all digital is available, but we still do manual. Because with my other digital pathology studies, I clearly kind of find a difference between manual and digital with respect to time taken and, the user friendliness and so on. So I wanted to study that too. So in my center, we have surgical excision 41%, biopsy 59%, and the distribution is like standard, 3 plus was 14%, 0 is 32%, 2 plus 19%, and 1 plus 35% based on the standard of care pathologist sign out, and mine is a very big team. And the invasive carcinoma was ductal in 61%, lobular in 19%, and total number of cases from 200, I think 2 had to be removed, so it's 188. So this is early results. I think some of the results will be presented in ASCO in a couple of months, but these are the early results from my center. So what I just want to stress is that most important is ground truthers. There was only 77% agreement amongst the two ground truthers for the digital HER2 IHC slides, which is similar to what is reported, but these are the breast experts. So for biopsies, it was 78.9%, and sure enough, for excisions, it was lower, which is what I thought. It is, so it creates that data, 74.4%. So overall, if you look at my center, these are early results. The analysis is still going on. What I want to stress is that if you took all cases, for the readers, two readers, between not using AI and using the Galen as a decision support tool, there is a big difference. Look at it. The first row, 69.4% versus 81.8%. That tells you a lot that, yes, a decision support tool does help the general pathologist in coming to a consensus with themselves and producing more objective results. So I want to show some cases from our study. So this is a case, a core biopsy, invasive ductal carcinoma. The two ground truthers called this 1 plus. One reader called it 2 plus. Another reader said 1 plus. So obviously, if you look at this case, it is like on the borderline, but I think decision supports tool would be useful in this case. So clearly, as I said, the invasive carcinoma is nicely annotated. And I feel this is an edge of the Galen compared to other platforms that are currently available commercially in the market right now. So I think if you look at this, clearly the green dots, the green circles are your incomplete membranous staining. The blue is no staining. So clearly this case came up as incomplete membranous staining in 47% of the tumor cells. So obviously the second reader who called it, who did not call it 1 plus with AI, clearly called it 1 plus, so that all four of them became consistent. Here is another case. Two of the ground truthers called it 0. One reader called it 1 plus, another called 0 without AI. And you can see the Galen application clearly shows that majority of the circles are all kind of blue. There is very little 1 plus. And quantitating it, it clearly said 3.36% 1 plus. So obviously this case is a 0. So again, it helped all the four people come to a consensus. So this is another case. So this is the same case. I think trying to show at higher magnification, highlighting those very few green dots to the pathologist who perhaps overcalled first time around, but changed back again, rightly so that all four became 0. So I just want to point out, in the previous study that was presented in ASCAP, the manuscript is nearly done. So this was a 120 study done with, as I said, 5 expert breast pathologists as ground truthers and 4 as general pathologists. And absolutely, even in that study, it became very clear that if you took the average agreement of the 4 general pathologists with the high confidence ground truthers, that means 4 out of the 5 ground truthers, if they agreed with the diagnosis, was considered high confidence ground truth. So it is not necessary that all 5 were positive, because in a small percentage, some did not agree. But anyway, for the 4 pathologists, if you took all the 92 cases from that study with high confidence ground truth, without AI, the concordance was 85.3%, and with AI, it became 88. So there was improvement. But amongst the 4 pathologists, with and without AI, was really a big jump, 69.7% versus 77.2%. So obviously, so what does that tell us? So if you looked at lower end of the spectrum, like 0 and 1 plus cases, with and without AI, for the general pathologists, it jumped from 69.8% to 87.4%. So basically, using the Galen platform or AI computational image analysis as a decision support tool, there is higher agreement with the expert ground truthers. But more importantly, creates higher inter-observer concordance for the pathologist. So with AI and without AI is particularly useful for cases at the lower end of the spectrum, 0 and 1 plus kind of cases. So at the end, so in summary, the Galen breast HER2 platform as a computational image analysis decision supports tool can provide the much needed ancillary aid for interpreting HER2-IHC, is particularly useful for finalizing the borderline staining result cases. Also, I would like to point out it is useful for evaluation of HER2-IHC performed on surgical resection and with lower level protein expression. And the bottom line is this tool can improve interpathologist concordance in HER2-IHC scoring, which is very much needed in the field. So it is a fully automated solution. It helps in recognition of the invasive tumor, next step annotation of the individual tumor cells, and finally providing you with a ASCO-CAP 2018/2023 guideline update kind of a score for you. But it is not that you have to just take it as like ground truth. You can check it and reconcile with yourself and agree and then make your final reporting. So performance is agnostic to the antibody used and the lab performing the stains and the scanner that is used for obtaining the whole slide image. I find this very important because many of the other platforms that claim can do the HER2 interpretation, they do not have these advantages. So I think that is very useful, and I would like to point that out. And it can serve as a very robust ancillary decision support tool for HER2-IHC interpretation. So I think all the evidence, so we have to stay tuned for the results of the entire 1,000 cases, which will create more kind of robust evidence for us in the field that computational image analysis will bring the much needed objectivity for the interpretation of HER2-IHC, irrespective of the results of DESTINY-06 or the DAISY correlative studies, because the science will evolve with respect to HER2-low. Is it really a great science or whatever it is? But the need for a computational tool for pathologists is here to stay, in my opinion. So with that, I end my talk. And I think there are many people involved in doing all this work from my center, and they are all listed here. Thank you very much.